Hello, my name is Martin Orr. I am a psychiatrist, and today I'm going to be talking about ambivalence, consciousness, AI, and suicide prevention. I have summarized my talk and the key takeaways on this first slide. Consciousness is inherent to our human sense of self, agency, experience, and life. Suicide is a complex, sensitive, multidimensional entity that devastates families and communities. Progress in decreasing suicide is limited, and there is a need for novel research and practice. The study of suicide may present unique insights into the complex, multifaceted nature and contextual functioning and malfunctioning of consciousness. Today, I'm going to talk about ambivalence and suicide as an escape from consciousness as two key aspects from the suicide literature. I hope that phenomenology and functional analysis helps us see more than shadows when we're looking at the nature of consciousness. Evolution is related to our revolution around the sun. Issues of resource, energy procurement, prediction, and utilization optimization likely impacted on the evolution of consciousness. We see, think, and feel in a limited range of frequencies and dimensions that might change in different consciousness states, like dreaming. There is increasing recognition of the multi-directional links between sleep disturbance like nightmares, and mental disorder and suicide. Generative AI will play a role in architecting consciousness and modulating the perceived reality and experience of both the awake and sleep state. I believe that consciousness likes building harmonic stories where history and vision rhyme, and I'm interested in how we can change memory and consciousness through neurophysiological primed narrative. Analyzing language is a window into individual and collective memory and consciousness. It is a limited window, but still one of the most effective we have in psychiatric practice. A legal declaration of suicide typically requires evidence of a consciously known and intentional act. However, rather than clear knowing and intention, suicide is often characterized by ambivalence and dynamically conflicting thoughts, emotions, and actions. This is most classically captured in Shakespeare's Hamlet soliloquy, to be or not to be. Shakespeare remarkably foreshadowed a range of academic literature on suicide and the related ambivalent conscious experience, the dual wish to both live and die, the escaping of mental pain or psycharchy, and the role of sleep and nightmares. Ambivalence literally means forces or strengths on both sides, and in the psychological literature came to mean opposing or conflicting thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Thoughts and chatter and images appear from somewhere external to the conscious space, a preconscious, a subconscious, and are subject to known and unknown forces and filters, or at least this is the way it might appear to the observer of their own consciousness. Throughout history, this experience has been interpreted in different ways, including that it was caused by demons and angels, each acting on the mind to shape the mind. The lived conscious experience of ambivalence suggests a multiality with multiple facets and varying perceived levels of multiplicity, control, consistency, and congruence. There may appear to be hierarchical, parallel, hyperdimensional, and hidden components of consciousness from which thoughts emerge into awareness with different senses of ownership and intrusion. The range of conscious experiences are likely to be phenomenologically relatively similar, but we have interpreted the experience through the ages differently, depending on our understanding of the forces that control the universe. That has ranged from God, demons, and angels to mechanical forces in the age of Freud, to the current computational and digital analogies to describe our brain and how it works, and to emerging complex and quantum theories. Suicide can be perceived as an escape from consciousness, particularly when that consciousness is dominated by an escalating, overwhelming sense of pain, loss, shame, or entrapment. Consciousness is typically associated with life and actions to promote the agency and propagation of an entity's life. How can we therefore understand consciousness' role in choosing to end itself or escape from itself? The objective of this symposium is to understand consciousness and treat its disorders. As a psychiatrist, that is my focus, to look at treatment and how a knowledge of consciousness can inform our treatment of mental disorders. It can be debated whether suicide is an inherent evolutionary feature or disorder of consciousness. The feature perspective can argue that consciousness allows contemplation of existence and emotions and context. In extreme stress of the individual or group, suicide may act as an escape from overwhelming mental pain, existential meaningless, or may form part of altruistic sacrifice to improve the welfare of the group. It can be perceived as a manifestation of profound self-awareness and autonomy. The disorder perspective is the dominant clinical view and focus. It highlights mental health vulnerabilities while also recognizing the consequences of unresolved emotional pain and the links to societal, psychological, and environmental factors. The call to action for this symposium is that neuroscience needs a revolution to understand consciousness and our place in the universe. Here I argue that the revolution that we need to understand is our revolution around the sun and how this has impacted on evolution and the development of all biological life forms, including consciousness. Nightmares are a particularly interesting aspect of the conscious experience of both the awake and sleep state. There are remarkable similarities across memory, conscious experience, and particularly trauma, and how these are expressed in flashbacks, nightmares, and the living nightmare of the suicide crisis syndrome, all of which can be associated with a sense of overwhelmment, entrapment, and a need to escape. I am currently looking at generative AI as a way to reshape the narrative around traumatic memories and traumatic nightmares with the use of ChatGPT and DALL-E. Thank you for listening, and please feel free to contact me if you have any questions or can see a way of us working together. Thank you.